Not trying to expose you. This is to.
Sure, stop.
Were you actually thinking that? I'm not trying to expose you.
Stop! Hold on. If you do one more of those, hold on. If you do one more of those, hold on. Stop. Don't worry. There's a quick thing. This isn't a caliber of woman. One person isn't better or worse because they like to argue or.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
You can't. No, my answer is you can't compromise. You can't compromise on this issue.
When you were with Melina, and you ended up with the problems that you had with Melina, did you in your gut suspect that they were coming? This is something I've been thinking. Sorry, I broke up with my girlfriend 2 days ago. And I've been trying to battle with the gut feelings that I've had and rationalizing them and arguing against them inside myself. It's just been something I think about a lot.
I think anytime you're in a sufficiently long relationship, I think when it's coming to an end, it's pretty rarely a surprise. You should, there's usually things like coming, yeah?
So what was the answer to the question though? Sorry, I don't know why I'm pressing you.
Yeah, there were obvious.
No, but when I'm watching, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, the delay. When you're talking to doing the interviews, or you're going on the podcast and stuff, and you're talking about your relationship with Melina, are you in that time having difficulties rationalizing your own relationship to yourself and just making excuses, or are you super confident and then it all falls apart and you don't understand why? I guess is what I'm asking. And I'm not trying to expose you. This is to
sure. Stop qualifying. Holy shit. I don't care. Oh my God, please stop qualifying. Okay. You can ask questions. Sorry. My God.
Okay.
I don't think I understand the question. I mean, you can recognize that there are issues with your relationship and still simultaneously enjoy your relationship, or I don't know what the.
I don't. Well. Wait, you don't understand my question.
I don't think so.
Okay. When you were with Melina, and you were going about your lives and you were happy or whatever and doing all, the whatever podcast and all that shit.
Sure.
Were you, when people were critiquing your relationship and you were defending it and saying, oh, well, I reckon we'll be, all the stuff, we reckon we'll be together and get married. Oh, I love her. She loves me. Were you actually thinking that? I'm not trying to expose you.
Stop! Hold on. If you do one more of those, hold on. If you do one more of those, hold on. Stop. No more. Don't stop saying that. Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay.
I just want you to know I'm not trying to.
I know you're not. If you were, I would just drag you out. Oh my God. Stop qualifying. Okay. Holy shit.
Were you sat there going, yeah, well, I love her and I reckon we're going to last and all that? Or were you internally having doubts because she's shown certain personality traits that were difficult for you and you were rationalizing them in a positive way to try and make it last? That's the problem I'm having.
Okay, there's my girlfriend. Wait, there's. Okay, the question. There's multiple things going on in this question. So when any critique that any outside party is providing of my relationship, for every single one that was related on a show, none of those had anything to do with the problems in my relationship. So if somebody is critiquing my relationship on any of these the quote unquote dating shows or whatever that are hosted by infinitely single men, none of these things have anything to do with my problem. So if somebody's asking me a question about it, then, and I'm thinking okay, well, my rationalization, I don't have to rationalize anything. Typically the things that they brought up weren't really issues. If anything, I was the one that was bringing up things that are usually issues, but they didn't ever want to address those or care about those because they have no experience or relationship history. But so no, I think I'm pretty honest on most of the answers I would give with most of my shows.
I'm going to be more mean now because I'm not trying to get you, but I'm not going to qualify anything. You're saying that as in they're not addressing the actual topic that you might have had a problem with, but still broadly they're critiquing your relationship, right?
No, that doesn't make any sense. You can't broadly critique something. A critique needs to be specific to the problems that are being critiqued. It doesn't make any. It'd be like me saying that that tree outside in your house is going to fall over because it's green. The tree is going to fall over because the leaves are green. The tree's going to fall, and then the tree falls over. You're it's because the leaves were green. And it's that's not why it fell over. It was being rotted from the inside out by disease. And okay, but broadly speaking, my critique was right. No, it's not. It's not.
Okay, let's take it away from that then. The podcasts. If I'd have asked you, are you happy in your relationship? If we'd have met and I'd have asked you, are you happy? A year and a half, 2 years ago, you'd have probably said yes to me. But would you have been battling with difficulties and struggles that you were trying to?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, both can be true. You can be happy in a relationship and still dealing with relationships or issues and struggles, right? I think for a large part of the relationship, there were issues that we were dealing with, but I think I've almost always been vocal about those issues. We had issues relating to how much time I would spend with my partner, and the issues relating to hooking up or
sort of right. But the way that she behaved, or at least what I understand it, is not the same as the sort of person you thought she was when you were trying to marry her for an extended period of time, right? So the person she ended up being is not the person you thought she was, right?
I think she was a little bit more. No, I think for the most part, a lot of it mapped on. I think there was a little bit more maliciousness with the way that she would talk to other people. That's something that I didn't really super figure out though until the end. But like everything else.
So you think you had her mapped out? This is about me. I'm not okay. I'm just sorry.
If you qualify, I'm serious. If you qualify one more time, I'm driving. This is driving me crazy. Oh my god.
Sorry. So you feel like you had her mapped out, but some small things you hadn't mapped out changed, and that was the big failure of the relationship. To map that onto me, I feel like the reason I'm asking you is because I was dating this girl for 2 years plus, and I had a lot of these difficulties that I was internalizing and rationalizing against myself that I knew in my gut were true, and I was just creating rationalizations inside my head to make them not the case. And I was just going, is this something that... Well, I watch a lot of your streams and whatever, and I was just thinking, is that something that you were doing? Or you seem to be giving me the impression you just sort of knew exactly what was going on, but then some slight thing changed that you didn't really catch on to, and that was suddenly the end of it.
No, the end of it, the issue is that, honestly, the issue are things that I said like 6 years ago. The issue is that I'm older and I know exactly what I want in a relationship. And when you date a really young person, they don't always know what they want in a relationship. And one of the big differences in fighting was that I would say things to Melina where it's like, I feel like you probably want a relationship with a guy like this. And then she would insist that that wasn't the case, but that ended up being exactly the case. So it was more kind of like she has to grow and figure out what she wants in life. And I already kind of know what I want in life. That's not going to change as much. Any recognition or change in thought that I had to do with like how malicious she was over other people in my life, which I didn't catch on to until the end. But I don't even know if that was necessarily like the most important thing that ended up making the relationship not work out. I think the most important thing was that she just needed somebody with a way higher time commitment to her, and that trait was preferable to anything else that I could offer. One of the worst things when you are in your chasing years, you're trying to chase, so I would give up on these immediately. Right. When you see a girl and there's another guy chasing that girl and he's a f***ing loser, and I'm like, this motherfucker is gonna spend all day texting her. He's gonna want to go and hang out for 6 hours. I'm on my career grind. I don't have fucking time for that. You're just like, you win, you have it. So yeah, which is something I pointed out from almost the very beginning, but yeah.
I do get what you're saying, but to hold your feet to the fire a little bit, I don't feel like you're answering my question, to be honest.
What is it?
The question is, did you know that these problems existed and that would ultimately demise in the end of your relationship, and you just denied yourself that truth?
I knew that the problems existed, but I don't know if they're going to end the relationship. You don't know that until both sides have worked on trying to figure out a problem to see if you can get past a particular thing. It's impossible to know if it's going to end the relationship until like a certain threshold is crossed.
You don't think there's like certain things that you just know in your gut that this is going to end badly? I think in your chat...
Stop, hold on, wait, don't, hold on. Don't ask a question and then go on, okay? So that question is, I've never implied that there aren't certain things that you know will make a relationship not work, okay? If I wake up every morning and my partner is shitting the bed, this is never going to work as a relationship, right? If I wake up in the morning and my partner is trying to kill me because they're upset because I talk shit in my sleep, that's never going to work. Obviously, there are going to be some things that you know this is never going to work. Like the amount of time that a person can commit to a partner and the amount of time that another partner needs, that's not a thing that I would know intuitively, immediately, right at the start. Like that's a thing that has to be worked on.
Okay. So sometimes, Destiny, I feel like I'm reasonably smart, but sometimes you answer things in such a way that I kind of get what you're saying and I track them and they seem like they answer well, but I don't actually understand exactly your point by the end of it.
Well, okay, okay, hold on, wait, stop, let me finish. My God. Okay, hold on, okay. You're asking me, were there problems in the relationship that you knew in the very beginning would lead to the end of the relationship? And I'm telling you that there are problems that I was aware of the entire time, but I wouldn't know if they were the end of the relationship. As an example of that, one problem might be, how much time am I willing to spend with a partner? There are two big things that can change on this particular front. One is my partner can just get used to spending less time with me, and they could be okay with that. And the other is I could increase the amount of time that I'm willing to spend with my partner. Now, both of those things are flexible. My partner's desires could change throughout the relationship where they're like, oh, okay, like I'm okay not spending as much time with them. And then the second thing is my commitment to the relationship might increase. I might say like, okay, you know what? I think I should be spending more time with my partner. So since those two things can change, it's hard to know in the very beginning, like, oh, is this an absolute fucking deal breaker? Or is this something that will like slowly change over the course of the relationship?
Okay. Where do you think, okay, I'm on board with you here. Do you think that people can fundamentally change, where's your precipice, your line, which how something where is something so fundamental that somebody can't change it? Do you think that exists?
Yeah, it probably does, but you're going to know more of that probably when you're like in your mid to late 20s after you've done like one or two serious relationships.
Yeah, I've done that. I was wondering where yours is. Do you know that?
For
where
what?
Do you think that is? Do you think that people can fundamentally change large parts of themselves?
I don't know what that means. Fundamentally change? No, that's why it's called fundamental. It's unchanging. So I don't know what you mean when you say fundamentally change.
I think
Unless you're talking about like a near-death experience, like making you like religious or something. No, people don't fundamentally change. Usually they're pretty set in stone. Like a lot of major personality traits in your teens, and then like by your 1 or 2 relationships, you generally know what you want. Yeah, you're probably not going to change massively unless you're like breaking an addiction or making a huge life change otherwise.
You know what? Let's skip to it. What happened to you, Charlie? All right? You've been asking a lot of questions about what happened here. What happened to you? That's what I want to know. All right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I really want to, like...
Listen, you've come this far. You've asked a lot of qualifying questions of Steven. I want to know what happened to you. Tell me. Because it sounded like you got in a relationship with someone, and you thought that something was going to change or not change, and did or didn't. So tell the class what happened.
Well, I've been with a girl for about 2 years who has shown some sort of... well, I've been off and on. Well, not really off and on. I've broken up with her 3 times over 2 years.
Jesus.
And every single time she promises me change, and
Also, wait, real quick. What are the ages of you and the girl?
I'm 20. I'm about to be 26 in 2 days, and she's 25. So, but sorry, both. The answer is we're both 25.
You are a little bit retarded, you know? I'm looking at your picture, and it actually, I'm imagining I'm sitting next to you and you're saying this, but this is good. So you're both 25 is how you would normally... That's how you would normally answer that question. Not everything else, that's fine.
Would normally answer that question, sorry.
Okay, all right, so that said, so what is it? What is it?
I've been here with her I've been here with her 2 years, and I love her very much, but almost... very difficult, and she would show some character traits that I'd have severe problems with. Like, she would be so sure of her ideas and never be able to question them. And you wouldn't be able to ration or reason with her.
Hold on. You need to give some grounded examples, because that is meaningless. Are you saying like you can't debate her out of religion, or are you saying she refuses to like give you warning when she wants to go out at night? Like,
well, she's like a second level thinking. Like, you know, when you have an idea and then somebody counters you, and the counter is like the second level thinking. Like, she's so ingrained on like, she has the way that she sees the world, and you can't ever make her question anything else.
All right, give us as an example of an actual argument that you had. Go ahead.
Okay, so religion is something that I've been quite fluctuating over the years, right? I used to be quite atheist when I was like 18, and then as I got older, I went, oh, okay, well, I can, you know, it's kind of surprising to me that so many people are like, you know, religious, and that must mean something, and you know, I kind of respect people for it, and it tends to improve the way they like. I tend to question that whole way of thinking, right? But to her, it's like she won't question anything or question the way she thinks about anything.
Okay, hold on. Let me I can shortcut this because it's a waste of time. Okay, this is never going to change. If you're looking for somebody that can engage in like this level of like back and forth, like dialectics or whatever, and she's 25, this isn't changing. It will never change. That's the conclusion I came to.
You know, the problem is you've watched too much Destiny. Okay,
that is the problem. That's a huge problem that I've had, by the way. Destiny, I'm not going to lie to you.
Thank you for not lying.
I've entered so many arguments with my girlfriend, and I've been like, by the way, this is going to sound so fucking weird, but
please qualify it. Yes. Okay.
So, I've tried to like break down problems from emotions to like logical structures. Not in like a weird way, like an autistic way, but like, hey, can we not just go above board here? Can we just like really talk about the actual problems and like address them one by one? And once that's cleared, we can go on to the next. And once that's cleared, we can go on to the next, right?
That does sound a little bit autistic, even though you're saying not autistic, but that's fine. Continue.
Yeah, and it always felt like she wanted the argument. She wanted the emotional outburst and then the rectification afterward. Do you know what I mean? That's always been a problem. Anyway, I broke up with her a few times over it, and she'd promised change to a degree. Said, "Oh, I've reflected, I've realized, you know, what you were looking for. I'll fix it." And then the same problems kept coming back and back and back over and over and over again. And then I guess we ended up in where I ended up 2 days ago, which is like, yeah, I'm completely done here. And then that's why.
To be clear, you've broken up with this person because they aren't able to like have essentially like Destiny tiered debates with you. Like, you want to be like, hey, listen, let's talk about incest. Is it okay if a brother f***s their other brother? And she's like, ew, gross, no. And you're like, no, listen.
You don't
have that one.
Know the intricacies, Dan. I broke up with her for some really f***ed up reasons of shit she did. But like, I'm just displaying to you. I'm just trying to describe a problem that I've had. Okay.
Oh.
a big problem that I've had. There's much more context to a relationship than just can't have a fucking Destiny style debate. How do you feel about the Destiny if somebody can't have a conversation with you that's fairly structured?
I probably don't talk to that person as much. It's just not the type of person I gravitate towards.
What about you, Dan? How do you feel?
It doesn't bother me. Most people are like that. You know, it's annoying sometimes if you want to get into it, but okay. Let me give you an example of just some people that are out there. So I play a lot of Rust, and I used to play Rust with this guy, and sometimes you do like hypotheticals, right? And I think it's important to engage in a hypothetical. But this guy was the type of dude like, hey man, would you suck a dick for $1 billion? And he'd be like, nah, dude, nah, never. That's gay. I would never suck a dick. And you're like, really? I would suck 100 dicks for $1 billion. And he's like, nah, dude, you're gay. I'd never do that. And you try to talk with them, be like, you understand what you're saying? This isn't true. You would suck that dick. You would absolutely suck that dick for $1 billion. He's like, nah, I wouldn't. I would never do it. I would never, ever do it. So there are people like that are out there, and they're set into their ways, and you trying to change them through logic is not possible. The only way to literally push them to change in their mind is through force in their life where they see that thing happen. They can't, it's like Inception. You can't tell them, you have to let them find out for themselves. That's it.
I understand what you're saying. There's like a line there. I'm not trying to... What you said earlier was sort of not true. I'm not trying to force Destiny-style debates on people. But like, my girlfriend would have like really, really strong opinions on things without any validation of it at all. Like absolutely no backup.
Yeah, that's like every person ever.
Okay, I don't know how to contend with that statement. Like,
well, most people are retarded. Okay, and most people have very strong convictions on their retardation. That's literally Dunning-Kruger. Like, the more retarded they are, the more confident they are with whatever it is they're going on about.
Hold on. Wait, okay, if you want to if you want to argue about analyzing people and blah blah blah, like, you can do that. But for relationships, you have to figure out like, what do you need in a relationship? Do you need somebody that can engage in this style of conversation? If you do, then this is like a deal breaker for you. You have to find somebody that engages in conversations like this. If you don't need this, then you need to be content with whoever you find, and you need to not try to force them to or constantly engage them in these styles of conversations, especially relating to your relationship, because you're never going to be happy. They're going to hate you.
But there's an area between those where you're not trying to force them to, but it does become fucking infuriating because people harbor harvest.
No. It's infuriating. No, it's infuriating because you haven't settled your expectation for what it is you're looking for. It's like saying that like for you the most important thing is having a girl with double D tits, and you date a girl who has like, B's, and you're like, well, I mean, like, it's okay, I'm dating her, it's fine, but it is fucking infuriating that her tits are small. That can't be the case. You have to figure out, like, is this a deal breaker for you? Do you need it in a relationship, or do you not? If you're saying that something is fucking infuriating when somebody can't engage in a certain way, then that sounds like something you need for a relationship. Like, full stop.
You basically want to date Destiny.
No, you just want different people look for different things in partners. Some people want to engage with their partners a certain way. Some people want like to be their partners like best friends. Some people just want them to have totally separate lives. Some people all of it is different. You just have to figure out what works for you.
Well, without getting myself cancelled and being horrible here, it seems to me that the desire to be like logically consistent with your ideas seems to be so much higher within men than within women, and I like women.
Listen, there are things that you are... Hold on. There are things that you are logically inconsistent on.
Hold on. Actually, wait. For the styles you were talking about, you're probably a little bit right. Like, the trait of, like, wanting to have a certain type of thought process and wanting to be able to argue out everything is probably a more masculine trait. So you're looking for a woman that it just like, veers off in that direction a bit more. But that's fine. It just, like, limits your selection a little bit. But who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, if you say like, well, if I want to, like, you could say like, I really want a woman that will play like, like CSGO with me. Okay, like that's playing that type of game and being involved in games like that. It's a little bit more of a masculine trait, so you have a few less people to choose. But that doesn't change the fact that it's a requirement for a relationship for you.
Oh, how much mental difficulty or anguish or difficulty just generally should I put up with? Like,
it sounds like this is super important to you.
It is really important to me.
Then I think that you should be. Well, maybe Steven has a different opinion on this.
It is really important to me. Like somebody that I can have a dialogue.
Have you dated someone
reasonable and rational? Like it's just somebody I can talk to, and we can just both give our opinions, and like we judge them on the merits of their case. Like not in like a fucking debatey way. All
right, listen. Okay, have you dated someone that's fallen into this bucket in the past?
Into what bucket? Sorry.
The one that you're imagining that you want to have right now.
Well, from my experience, they don't seem to exist.
Okay, they do exist, but I don't think you would like them, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
So you don't want that. So just stop trying to.
Yeah, so what do I do? That's my question, Dan. What do I do?
You just stop. Accept that whoever you're dating isn't going to be a debate pedophile like you.
Wait, no, you can't. If he doesn't want that, then you have to find somebody who is. You're just limiting your.
Yeah, but I think if you can try finding a debate pedophile, okay, but you're not gonna like it.
I don't want a debate pedophile, man.
You do want a debate pedophile.
No, I really don't. I just want somebody that doesn't like fucking get all of their opinions from TikTok, and then when you try to like go, hey, you should maybe evaluate these.
That's most people. You either have to go back to college, go to higher education, go to uni, find a chick or whatever, or just find people that engage the way that you do. But most people are like that.
Yeah, and it's usually the people that I'm looking for usually tend to be more men than women, no?
It might be. I don't even know if that's necessarily true, though. I don't know if that's the case. Like in the United States, like the majority of supporters for Donald Trump are men, not women. I mean, like most of these people are functionally retarded. So I mean,
again, what do you do? Like you're literally at this point looking for a real rare substrata of people.
Hold on. You're confusing two different things. Okay. On one hand, you're expressing difficulty for finding a particular type of person, but it feels like you're expressing this difficulty in an attempt to change the type of person you prefer. So first step is to accept the type of person that you want to be with. You need to accept that. And then once that's done, then you move to the next part. You can't use the contention that it's hard to find a person like that to argue against your preference. I don't know what else to say.
Well, no, that's true, but only if that's true what you're saying, but what if the person that I'm looking for seems to be impossible? Where am I just meant to like? It's not impossible, obviously.
It's not impossible. It's just slightly rare. What do you mean impossible? It's just like a little bit harder to find this type of person. But
I watch your streams, man. Like who are the people that are like girls that you'd generally be interested in that are like reasonable in their ideas and are willing to talk about them? I mean, you can't even find a fucking guy that'll talk to you and just really drill down into the facts and like.
First of all, I have talked to and currently talk to quite a few women that are able to engage like that. Okay, they don't come on stream though because you guys are wild. Number one. Number two, the reason why I don't find men like that, one, I do, but two, it's because I'm like adversarial. I come online to find people to argue with. So of course they're going to be people that are different in argumentative styles and whether we put together ideas or whatever it could be, right? Like obviously that's my goal here is I'm a debater. I'm looking for people that I disagree with. So of course.
Okay. I guess what it is that it's annoying that if you just actually want to be logically consistent about general topics in your life, it becomes increasingly hard to find somebody who can match that. Because
you're not looking for just being logically consistent. You're looking for somebody that wants to. You're looking for somebody that wants to engage in like argumentation somebody that wants to. Okay, never mind. You're right. You're a logic god, and the problem is just that other people are so illogical, and you just can't find anybody like that because it's so hard. Because once you accept logic as your god, logic capital L, like the whole world is just so stupid. Is that what you want to say?
Listen, have you considered dating trans women?
No, not my thing.
That might be the best of all worlds for you.
No.
Well, I don't know what to say.
I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm getting at.
We're not retarded.
Wait, hold on. I'm understanding exactly what you're getting at. This is my preference for partners that I date. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to find people. You just go put yourself out there. Make you put yourself in the right environments to meet these kinds of people. That might be a little bit harder to find. It's probably true of the man side as well. It's hard to find men that think this way too. Yeah, but you like to be a little bit more argumentative. You want somebody to like critically analyze shit a little bit more. Most people don't do this. Most people don't give a Most people want to watch TV. Most people want to go out and have fun with their friends. Most people don't want to look at a article and have their boyfriend being like, hey, don't you think it's crazy that in Uganda they're saying this thing today? And your friend's like, I don't know, I don't really care that much. Like, you don't care? Well, aren't you just logically inconsistent that you care about your friend who's sick when there's 45,000 people dying here? Like, isn't that irrational? Like, most people don't give a shit like that. You're not looking for somebody that is logical and reasonable. You're looking for somebody that is engaging on a certain set of topics in a way that you enjoy engaging on. That's what you're looking for.
The first half of that was like really fair, but the second half of that was unfair because you're looking for somebody who you want to bring up a topic and argue with them and see how reasonable they're being or logical they're being. I'm not trying to bring up topics. I'm just saying when something comes up that matters to both of you, I'm looking for somebody that addresses it in a reasonable way. That's literally the minimum standard for me. Like, if there is some important part of our life where it's like, credit card debt or taxes or some sort of,
sure, that's a fair thing to look for, but that's a totally different thing than what you were saying before. You should be able to find somebody with a good style of conversation that can resolve problems with you. That's an expectation you have for every partner, but that's a lot different than can I have a logical argument about the existence of God with somebody?
I'm not trying to debate anybody. I'm trying to not debate people. I'm trying
you're playing word games. Okay.
I think
sorry.
The problem may lie a little bit internally. You need to, what I want you to sit back, relax, and try to really think about what really matters to you in a relationship. What can you go without? What can you not go without? Put those things on like a pros and cons chart and then really bring it all together, because you're acting autistically unhinged right now about something that shouldn't be as crazy as it is. Okay. Like, listen, it sounds like you want to be with a woman who can argue with you a little bit, a smart woman. You're not trying to, if we go to the zombie movie where they pick up like the dumbest chick in the world and she's in the car and whatever, Zombieland or something. You're not looking for that. You want someone that's like a little bit smart, a little bit informed, maybe someone that's going to tell you something that you didn't know. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. You know what? You might not be cool enough to get a girl like that, is the one thing I would say.
What is that? Okay. How do you know it has anything to do with anything cool? What?
Well, he just might not have what it takes to have that caliber of a woman.
There's nothing. No.
Unless, hold on. Unless you maybe. Okay, but maybe if you go down a little bit on the physical standards, you can get that.
Hold on, just as a quick thing, this isn't a caliber of woman. One person isn't better or worse because they like to argue or...
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
When we're not talking about if they like to argue, we're talking about if they're intelligent and have an interest in things and want to talk about something, even if it's makeup, okay? Let's say that all they care about is makeup. Tell me about makeup. Tell me what it's made out of. Tell me the history of it.
Sure, if that's the type of thing you're talking about, the vast majority of people, men and women, are like that.
I'm not.
Okay, good luck.
I understand.
All right, yep, good luck. Go for it.
Listen, okay, those women are rare that are like that, that get past the surface level on a lot of things, okay? I don't know why. It just is, okay? And if you want someone that's like that, you can find people like that. But finding someone like that that's also like an 8 or a 9 on the attractiveness scale is super difficult to do. Okay, that's just a fact, because those women are hyper in demand.
That's I agree with you, Dan. By the way, I'm on board with you. I love what you've just been saying, but that's sort of my point. Do I compromise or do I just like?
You decide. What do you want more? Do you want like the body of a 9 in the like, on a rating scale? Do you want like a 9.5 on the body and a 6 on the brain scale, or do you want the other way around? You got to play with the numbers, okay? Because the thing is, mate, you're not good enough to get the 9 and a 9. You're not the sexy, because you're not a James Bond millionaire. You're a debate pedophile calling into destiny. I already know for sure, 100%.
I'm not. That is a complete misconception.
Okay, so you're a millionaire, 10 out of 10.
I'm a 10 out of 10. Well, no, I'm not going to bullshit you. I feel like I do pretty well for myself.
Just as a quick, when you play this conversation back in the future, what Dan is saying is not true. The idea that these types of women are necessarily in high demand, that's not necessarily true. There are a lot of guys that make a lot of money or do a lot of things that aren't looking for like super smart or like autistic or engineering women or whatever. That's absolutely not the case. That's why I'm saying you would never call this person a higher caliber. Different people value different things in women and in men, and not everybody looks at that as being strictly better or strictly worse.
No, they do. Fucking ditzy chick with big tits that's beautiful is worse objectively. You don't have to be smart chick with big tits.
That's not the only two options. Is ditzy and hyper intelligent.
You're saying they're in demand versus not. I'm just
you guys are fetishizing like logic and reason and rationale and capital R and capital. Yeah, you're fetishizing it. Some people can be decently intelligent, but they don't give a to like break down every issue into some hyper autistic like premise conclusion, like husband, I reject the syllogism that you put forth earlier today when you're listening to the, like not everybody's like that. There are some people that are reasonably intelligent who just don't break things down like that.
Yeah, I see. You're going to an extreme to make the point.
You're the one that just said you're either a ditzy loser or an intelligent woman. You're the one that made it an extreme.
Just giving a common example. No, it's not an extreme. Saying that in general, I think people would prefer that their partner is intelligent is not something that would be I thought it wouldn't be argued by you, but apparently it is. You think that some people actually, that they're more in demand for dumb chicks, basically, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that depending on the type of person
you're talking about. With Fresh and Fit, I don't know. Maybe in Miami.
Not even necessarily in with Fresh and Fit. Some people like the idea of like a stay-at-home housewife who isn't like sparring with them intellectually. Some guys find that threatening. A decent chunk of men find that threatening. Even like decently intelligent guys, sometimes it can happen. I don't know what the stats are or whatever, but...
Okay. Anything else, Charlie?
Is that to me? Yes. Oh, to me.
Yeah.
But you guys are sort of fundamentally like.
I don't think we are. I think the problem lies in the mirror, Charlie. You got to figure out what you want. You don't know what you want yet. That's the problem.
I do know what I want.
You don't know what you want, or if you do, you can't have it. You're like, I want Gal Gadot. Well, you ain't getting her. So lower your standards.
I want Gal Gadot. You must be a member of the Gelomini.
So, anyways. Yeah. There you go.
Well, no, it's not that I don't, I don't know how to word it. It's not that I want, like, some specific kind of person that's, like, super debate heavy, or some super kind of person with some, like, logic system that's really approachable. It's just like, it just seems impossibly fucking hard to me to meet... As guys, we generally have to improve ourselves to some degree because we are like usually lost on the market of people, like, and it feels to me like the people searching better reasoning, better logic systems, better ways of proving their points, better, all that sort of stuff, tend to be men. It tends to be those sort of people.
I already gave you the answer for this, dude. You need to get into trans women. Your life is set if you do that.
Yeah, but I'm not gay.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, there you go. It just tends to be that way, in my opinion. So
then you're just gonna be alone forever, and that's cool. Find good porn, subscribe to it if you want. Go find a few good OnlyFans, and start cranking them out.
Well, that was my question, Stephen. It was, do I compromise? How much do I compromise on my values, and where? Like, I don't know why I'm asking you. You're not the solution to all my problems. But
yeah, like, I'm the solution. Okay, he's the beta. Never get married.
I'm not asking you so you guys solve my problems. I'm looking for inspiration because I'm trying to work it out myself. Okay. And you guys, it's not because I'm a fucking debate pedo or pedophile, whatever they call it. I'm just trying to work out problems in my own life, and I'm looking for some sort of advice from somebody. Like, how much do I compromise? It's different for you, Stephen, because if you want to date some debate-minded hottie 9 out of 10. They're rocking up at your door every other Saturday so they can come on your stream. You know what I mean? And they're all watching your content 24/7, and they all want to know who you are, and they're all just trying to join you on stream. It's like different for you. If you're a normal person who wants to have like a decently good-looking girl that's fairly normal, but also can hold like some decent structure of thought, that's like a really difficult thing to maintain, in my opinion. That might be wrong, but that seems to be the way that I see it.
Well, Yeah, I'm not, I don't know what to tell you, Killer. I think you need to sit back, relax, and analyze. That's what you need to do. You need to figure it out. He doesn't know.
I gave you the answer. I already know all the answers to this. But you don't want to hear
no
them.
Answer.
What?
You're not answering where I compromised.
I already gave you the answer. You just don't like it. So you're going to just go find somebody else that'll give you the answer you want.
No, your answer was don't compromise, essentially.
You can't. Right? No, my answer is you can't compromise. You can't compromise on this issue. I wouldn't be able to. I would just be single. You can't compromise on this issue.
Forever alone. For you, Charlie.
Okay. You surely must have Well, that's not true. Like, you don't.
Nope. Every single woman he's been with ever has been the perfect, no problems whatsoever. He doesn't compromise. So every single girl he's been with, 100% perfect, no problems.
You must be compromising.
No, he doesn't. He just said he never compromises. So every marriage he's had, 100% perfect woman, wouldn't have changed a single thing.
That was my point, Dan. Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
It wasn't your point. I said it.
Well, no, you just you are reiterating my point, and I appreciate that from you, Dan. Thank you.
Okay.
Like, surely there must have been big, glaring issues for you, Destiny, that you were, like, dealing with.
Compromising?
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think I said? Can you even repeat back what I said? Do you have any idea what point I just made?
Well, which one? The first point or the most
about
recent?
Compromising?
You said I shouldn't compromise. I should decide essentially on what I like, and if they don't fit that, I should just deal with it and live alone. If nobody meets that, you know.
Rephrase that in a coherent statement and see if you can extract what I'm saying here.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I'm.
What am I? No, then read it. Then tell it to me. Tell me what I'm saying. Tell me what I'm saying. Tell me what I'm saying. Tell me what I'm saying.
If it matters to me so much that the person I love fits the criteria, then I should make that criteria absolute.
Yes, there you go. Congratulations. I don't know why you disagreed with Dan, who gave the most retarded summation of that, but that is correct. There are some things in a relationship that are going to be non-negotiable. You gave an example one earlier. They need to have a vagina. That's a non-negotiable for you, right? These are things that you can't compromise on. If you're going to sit here and tell me, like, well, tell me how I can compromise on women not being as smart, well, the easier answer is, you should just compromise on woman with a dick. Like, find a trans woman and get with her. But you're like, well, I can't ever compromise on that. Okay, well, then there are some things that are non-negotiables, which are totally fine, by the way. Some non-negotiables might make it harder to find partners. But you're sitting here looking for some fucking magic answer, like you're the Robitussin fucking drinker from House who's so intelligent he can't ever possibly conceive of being with an ordinary woman, right? I can't help you with that. The reality is, find what your non-negotiables are and then start building from there. That's it.
Oh my God, he's that guy. Except he's not a genius. He's just a retard. He watched that episode. He was like, "That's me. That is me." Do you know the episode, Charlie? You know the episode we're talking about, yeah? Have you seen it?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's you, but without all the genius parts right now.
Well, I'm not a genius, so yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
I'm not very smart. I'm just trying to work out what I do. I've just come out of a very long relationship that went very badly.
Why did it go so badly? Let's get into that. I'm curious.
Also, to be clear, hold on. Just when you're saying for the types of people you're looking for people that are genuinely curious about the world, that can break things into their constituent elements and then analyze those things. They don't necessarily have to be smart. Dumb people can do that, and there are plenty of smart people that can't do that. So you're not looking for somebody that's smart or dumb. You're just looking for somebody with some level of curiosity that can take things apart discreetly and kind of like analyze them and then put them back together. It's a form of like analysis, and it requires some level of curiosity. That's what you're looking for, to be clear.
Yeah, to some degree. What were you asking, Dan? Sorry.
I want to know what happened. What went so wrong in the relationship? We've come so far. I feel like I need to know more details now.
I had like a bunch of issues over the years, like 2 or 3 times. It was usually the same thing, which was like my girlfriend, you couldn't talk to her about anything. Like, she was the expert on every subject. If you brought up, it doesn't matter what it was. If it was like, something about, medical science, she had a friend who was a doctor and that made her an expert. Or if it was insurance, she used to work in insurance and she was the expert. Or, if it was anything about science or biology at all, she's studying a biology degree and she was an expert. And it made it really hard to talk to her. And it got really difficult over time to the point where I was like tapping out of conversations because it was just too.
Can we, what I would like to have, if you wouldn't mind? Can I have a example argument that you guys had?
I can give you one. I can give you one.
Okay, let's role play. Tell me, what was the argument?
We had one, right before we broke up, which was over credit card debt.
Okay, what was your position?
My position was that she gets I don't know if you guys know how it works in the UK, but you get a student loan through, which tends to be 0% interest until you hit a certain wage bracket.
Okay.
And then it becomes 9%. And she had £4,000, which is about $5,000 in credit card debt.
Okay.
And I recommended to her she used her student loan to pay off the credit card debt, so she wasn't paying interest fees monthly.
Okay.
And that was it.
And she didn't want to.
And she didn't want to because to her it felt like she had less money.
Okay, I can argue that. You wanna role play that?
Hold on
I
one
don't
second.
want to role play it with you, Dan.
You don't want to role play?
No, I'm not a role play guy.
I want to see what happened because I can do that, and I want to see how you react because maybe the problem is you, right? So we can find out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you want to role play my ex-girlfriend for 2 days, mate, if you're desperate to do that, I'm absolutely.
I am a little bit desperate to do it. Okay, we can do it. So oh my god, if I use that, like that's $5,000 in my bank. What about if I need that to like fix my tire or something?
Well, the money hasn't actually changed anyway. You can open up that credit line again. You just moved it to
but like
0%.
Maybe I couldn't. Like what? Sometimes people get like their credit cards stolen, and then I might not have it at all, right? So right now I know I have the money in there, and also it's like student loans, so I can let that go forever.
Okay, well, you're operating within a world that I can't envision. We are living in.
What do you mean? Everyone I know has student loans that go forever.
That Dan is leading.
Dan, this roleplay can't continue because this is just a world. You're
such a.
I'll let them go for like 2 more minutes, then I'll.
Never mind.
Well, you asked me for a conversation I've had. It was
I told you why, and you're not even listening.
All right, pose it to me again, Dan.
No, I don't want to. Forget it.
Oh, in the UN shit, they usually summarize a ton of shit before they get into it.
Yeah, that was but you asked me for an example. That was one, and then that ended up in us breaking up because she was stressed by the fact she had less money. She felt like she had less money because she had less on a credit line, because she'd paid off.
Yeah, but you acted poorly in that. Okay, you didn't try to empathize and help her understand. Instead, you were just a dick. Okay. Nobody. You gotta be better.
They're cool.
I don't think I was a dick, to be honest. Okay. Honestly, that was a problem anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. All right. Big things are happening now.
Without the light over, think you can do it?
Fuck
off.
Hi,
Loner.
Who's Loner? Is that me or Dan? Probably Dan.
All right.
Dan, I would have roleplayed with you, just so you know.